Hi everybody, I'm excited to announce the launch of the new courseware on data interpretation for CAT, and this is the 8th edition of this all-time Amazon bestseller. You can see this has been marked as an all-time Amazon bestseller, and that's something because of the love and affection I've got with these series of CAT books. In fact, all the 4 CAT books, the big ones for the sectional preparation, have this year in 2025 got converted to courseware. And this video I want to explain the changes that have happened in this edition, as also I also want to have a brief insight into what does courseware mean, and we'll be doing more on that. And as you can see, courseware, essentially the McGraw Hill Edge courseware, essentially means that there are a lot of QR codes inside the book, and the book is not just no longer just a book. It's actually a complete digital product, a digital enabled product, where you get the advantages that a book has, that any book has, along with the advantages the advantages of a book in terms of structuring your preparation, structuring your study patterns, etc., will be retained at the same time. So it's a serious printed product. At the same time, a very strong digital background to the product. So just a brief introduction of what the McGraw Hill courseware is. So McGraw Hill Edge is a platform on which we have the feature to give you content of various kinds to support the content of the book. So the McGraw Hill Edge courseware is an end-to-end learning solution designed to make learning holistic and adaptive to changing examination trends. So 2 words here. Holistic means that you don't just get written printed version of the product where I'm telling you as an author what I want to communicate to you, but also have options of using all kinds of media, including videos, mock tests, practice exercises, live webinars, etc. All these to make your learning experience and your learning journey for the topic that you're studying through that product complete and holistic. And of course, adaptive means that we are no longer now stuck to a printed book. I mean, at any point during your preparation journey, we will be coming up with more and more content on the digital platform so that your learning experience gets enhanced. As you can see, it goes beyond traditional exam preparation. It breaks the mold to give our learners a better chance at success. Seamlessly blends the traditional strengths of a static resource like book with cutting-edge digital learning solutions. So let's have a look at what are the features of the courseware on data interpretation, the 8th edition of this highly successful book. So DI for CAT, which is now a courseware. And please do have a look at the other books on CAT, the logical reasoning for CAT, quantitative aptitude for CAT, as well as verbal ability reading comprehension for CAT. And we'll be coming up very soon with a courseware on the previous year CAT questions. So a complete set of products from our side, from my side and McGraw Hill side, have now got converted to courseware. So what are the advantages of this courseware? 3,000 plus practice questions. When I say practice questions, it's more than 800 to 1,000 sets that you will get, sets of experience of problem solving that you will get in data interpretation. As you know, in data interpretation, theory is limited, and most of what you learn when you study a topic like data interpretation is through problem solving experiences. And this is also enhanced, this experience of problem solving is also enhanced using mock test papers, 43 solved mock test papers, including 10 mocks based on CAT 24 and CAT 23 patterns, the latest CATs, to simulate real-time exam conditions and boost your confidence. 9 new chapters for exam readiness. What are these chapters? So we have introduced in part 1 of the book, section 1 of the book, which is on traditional data interpretation. It includes 3 new chapters, which are DI based on quantitative concepts. So you have to understand that while data interpretation does not have any portions, so to say, but ultimately a DI question is a mathematics or a quants question embedded into a real life situation. There's some quants logic which is embedded in a real life situation in data interpretation. So when you go back to the past year's questions and you go back to experiencing what data interpretation is all about, you will realize that ultimately there's some quantitative logic which is inbuilt into data interpretation concepts. And in this section, or in this chapter, new chapter that we have introduced, 3 new chapters, DI based on quantitative concepts, we try to show you how stuff like allegations, mixtures, averages, etc. can be set into DI situations, how the quants concepts that you learn in the quants, in your quants portion, are set into data interpretation situations, so that you are able to not just recognize but also understand and solve those situations. And then a very important part, I mean, as you know, the traditional strength of this book is that this is perhaps the only resource which is where we have split data interpretation into traditional data interpretation and logical data interpretation. What's the difference between the two? I mean, data interpretation over the last 20 years has taken a complete turn. So if you look at the CAT papers, early 2000s, late 1990s, data interpretation was all about reading charts and graphs and interpreting the information or extracting the information from those charts and graphs and solving it, or solving the questions asked. But late 2005, 2006 onwards, over the last 15, 20 years, data interpretation has moved into data analysis, where analysis of data situations have become very, very critical, very important. And typical sets require a lot of vision and a lot of analytical thinking to be able to get through the puzzle kind of situations that they throw at you. And recognizing this need, a couple of editions ago, we actually completely transformed the DI book, the data interpretation book. The first edition of this book came as back as 2003, 2004, if I remember correctly. And we transformed this book completely into 2 parts, where we actually created a complete curated question bank for high quality data analysis based questions. So that part is retained right now. But what we also done in this edition is we have put logical DI based on various data representations. So this is the section which was not there earlier. So what we are trying to do is that, okay, you in the first part of the section of the book, you learn what pie charts are, bar charts, and you learn traditional data interpretation based on that. In the second part of the book, in section of the book, where we go into logical data interpretation, we try to show you or give you experience of how logical, analytical, analysis-based data interpretation situation can be built in on a pie chart or on a bar chart. So based on various data representations, we have tried to give you experiences of logical DI based on that. Then the biggest feature, of course, is the conversion to Courseware. You will have problem-solving videos, over 100 assisted problem-solving videos, and as you should understand, the amount of, although most of the book is completely solved, and you have the written solutions to almost all the questions. But as a trainer and as a student, you should also realize this, that how much I can communicate to you in a video recording of a solution is much, much more than what I can communicate to you in a written solution. And hence, I've always felt this constraint over the last 10, 15 years where because we are only stuck on a static print product, there was a little bit of communication issues where there were a lot of things that I would want to teach through my books, which I was not able to do. And with the conversion into the courseware, with this 8th edition of this highly successful book, we now have that feature where I can actually come in with a video, and you have QR codes. I'll show that to you. 100 plus videos on problem solving situations. So this is almost like a complete coaching program for data interpretation. Because as I tell my students, if you can't learn data interpretation through 100 different questions which somebody teaches you, perhaps you'll never learn data interpretation. So this is almost like a complete replacement of your coaching program in that sense. And then on top of that, we also have previous year questions. CAT 22-24 papers will be available to you on the platform, as well as live interactive sessions where I might do some webinars during the year, which will help you strategize and get to the gist of your preparation. Make sure you're not making any preparation related errors and in terms of using the books. So what are the types of videos that are there in this book? There are 4 or 5 types of videos. I just wanted to run you through them. The first is chapter launchpads. Chapter launchpads for every chapter in the book. A video in the beginning of the chapter where we talk about the chapter importance, how to study the chapter, what are the things you need to keep in mind. A very important feature which I've done in this edition of the DI book has been that I have actually, in all the chapters, the level 1, level 2, level 3 questions, higher difficult level questions, or in the lower level difficulty level questions, I have tried to give you a time band. This question, what I've done is I've estimated, let's say a question set of 4 questions. I've estimated 100 percentile solving time and a 90 percentile, 92 percentile solving time. So if I thought that 100 percentile could solve a question in 5 minutes and a 92 percentile could solve that question in 8 minutes, I've given that band 5 to 8 for that question. And almost every question in this book, especially in the chapters, has been marked that way. So when we talk about the chapter launchpads, we also explain this to you in the chapter about the markings. Then the next very important video category is going beyond the book. So going beyond the book, this kind of category, this kind of QR code, what it will do is it will take you to a video. It's normally linked to a question in a solving or a question, the solved examples of chapters. So when you scan this, you don't only have the option of reading the solution and what I've written there, but also have the option of actually watching a video to explain that question. So going beyond the book is a major feature of this book. Then you got concept explainers. Wherever there's need for a concept explainer, we have put these kind of QR codes that lead you to conceptual videos. And then the most important part, as I said, where the entire coaching program is high questions. We have identified level 2, level 3 questions across the book, which we felt had high learning yield. And based on, again, my experiences with students and readers over the past 2-3 decades, where I've seen that students struggle with what kind of questions and what kind of questions as a teacher I would want to teach my students so that they would learn better. So this is what we have done. We've identified high quality questions which have good learning yields, and we have retained the written solution for them and introduced a video based solution. Some of these videos are as long as 20 to 30 minutes because that's what it takes to solve that question. So it's typically what you would get in a coaching institute, which is all part of this book now. And I should not say book, it's now no longer a book, it's a courseware now. And so using the book effectively, how should you use it effectively? Be a very early adopter of the digital resources of the book. Do keep going back into the digital resources. Wherever there's a QR code available, make sure that you go. And even if you're able to solve that set on your own, make sure you see that video so that you get to see how I would think, how 100 percentile I would think in that question. And so that your learning gets a 360-degree completion on every set, every question of this book. And I can guarantee you that if you do this entire book completely restructured, completely, we have also done a lot of which did not come across in the initial videos here, initial slides here. I've also done a very deep look into the sets which are not really required in the context of the CAT now, and we have removed all those sets which we felt was just a waste of time. And the fact that we realize that your time is precious while using this courseware, that's one of the reasons we have done that time marking also on the sets. So go ahead, use this confidently. The only thing you'll need to do after this is the previous year CAT questions and maybe a bit of, of course, you'll need to take mock tests, etc. So those are the only things you'll need to accentuate this course with, and you will be ready for the D-Day of the CAT. All the best. God bless.